Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Starting 11 show. Everton versus West Ham United at 3 o'clock at Goodison Park. Such a rare thing. We won't have many of these left, potentially. Let's get into it. In goal, Jordan Pickford, obviously been called up for the England squad. So he wants to keep that place, and it's important he gets back to keeping clean sheets. I know he's got quite a few this season, but we need to get back to having those clean sheets. But it's not like we've been giving away loads of goals recently, but, you know, obviously if we can get back to keeping clean sheets, then we'd win games of football because we're scoring goals. Dead simple. Dead simple. Just do that. So he's got to be, at his best as we go forward. At right back, Brien, who's been called up to the Ireland squad, just continuing in that role. Again, be a little bit of a different challenge, I think, for them on Saturday with them playing. They play three at the back, so coming up against wing backs, maybe getting doubled up against, slightly different challenge. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on in that. It's a learning curve all the time for him. He's improving, but we've been unbeaten in the Premier League as he's been in the side. So long may that continue. A left back, Vitaly Mykolenko. Again, just consistent, keep on getting higher up the pitch. Hopefully adds to his assist that he got at Brentford, and yeah, he's been doing all right. Two centre-backs, James Tarkowski and Jared Branthwaite. Obviously, Jared Branthwaite not included in the England squad, which was a bit of a shock for people, but listen, he's been challenged. David Moyes said he's got to be the best player in the England under-21s, if that's the case. He's been challenged to improve, to be a little bit better. I think it's been a little bit difficult for him this season. He missed pre-season, obviously, come back from injury. He's playing under one system, then he's changed to, well, maybe not, he's playing the same system, but he's been asked to do maybe different things. He's got to pass the ball more, he's got to be slightly higher up the pitch. So again, for him, it's learning all the time. So, he did mention this week about England being a huge motivation for him. So let's hope he uses it as a motivation and as a brilliant game on Saturday, and shows too sure what he's missing out on by not picking him. So obviously that's my back four. Into midfield, the two sitting midfielders as such as James Garner and Idrissa Gana Gueye. Obviously we know what those two players are capable of. Idrissa Gana Gueye's been magnificent this season. James Garner dipped a little bit at Wolves and's got to pick that up a little bit, especially as the player I'm playing ahead of them is going to be Alcaraz, which I'll come on to in a moment. So maybe they're not going to have as much protection ahead of them as they do when they have Decore. So it's up to Garner just to pick his game up a little bit. It's just Garner Gueye, just keep doing what you're doing because you've been fantastic this season. But as I said, Alcaraz ahead of them. I've picked him over Decore because I just thought what he showed against Wolves was really encouraging, and I like the way he picks up the ball and created space for Beto to run into, and that's where Beto is at his best, when he's got space ahead of him and he can run into him and a player can find him. I just don't think Decore is that kind of player. Don't get me wrong, I think Decore has been really good under David Moyes, and people have wrote Decore off quite a few times. I don't think it's a case of writing him off. I just think for this game I'd like to see Beto get into those spaces because of Alcaraz picking up the ball, running it there. They're playing with a back three at the moment, picking up the ball and running at them, holding onto the ball. Beto in the last couple of games hasn't been great, and he'll want to get back on it. And I think just having Alcaraz and that energy in there will be a big part of that. On the right, Lindstrom obviously got an assist in the last game, but really has to do more for me. I just want to see him get a goal. I just think there's a player in there. Don't get me wrong, he's not a winger. He's not a winger, and I don't think he thinks he's a winger, but he's been put into that position. So I want to see more from him. And Jack Harrison on the other side, obviously goal against Wolves. Hopefully can take confidence from that, and it can improve his all-round game. I think those two players have got a big next 10 games for Everton. And they might not be involved in all 10 games if the likes of Dwight McNeil, the likes of Njai come back, Brozier even coming back might mean that we change shape a little bit. So it's up to them. If they want to stay at Everton, they need a big 10 games. And up front, as I said, Beto. Yeah, he's going to start having a little bit of competition. It seems Brozier and Chimiti could be back on the bench for this game. So he's going to start getting that little bit of competition. He's going to start having to look over his shoulder maybe on the 60th minute and think the possibility I could be taken off here. Don't get me wrong, he's done brilliantly under David Moyes, but the last couple of games showed signs of, you know, where he has to improve and how he has to get better as an all-round footballer. I think his fitness in general, after that hour, 65 minutes, you can see he starts to tire. I just don't think he's got that little bit in the bank that where you play, I don't know, 25, 30 games after an explosive pre-season you have to get you through. So I think it's important Everton do have players coming off the bench, and that's where he's going to have to start doing better in the first hour, certainly than he's done in the last couple of games. But don't get me wrong, he's been excellent under David Moyes, so I'm not going to write him off. So that's my starting 11. As I said, the likes of Chimiti, the likes of Brozier, Seamus Coleman, Patterson, they're all starting to find that fitness, and then hopefully after this international break, those other players will start coming back and add to that, and we will have a real bench, real selection dilemma for the manager. And obviously we'll have players coming on who can give us that extra little bit in the last half an hour of games where we have been lacking. Or certainly when it's a quick turnaround in games, which it will be when we come to Liverpool and Arsenal, you can change players up. Because I thought, you know, we looked, when we played Man United and Brentford, you know, we looked tired in the last half an hour against Man United, and we looked tired for the first hour against Brentford because we can't change players around. So that's my starting 11 anyway. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to check out the match preview with Baz and myself, and we'll have all the after-match reaction after the game against West Ham. So make sure you join us for that. Give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already. If you want more great videos, join us over on Toffee TV Premier. Link is in the description. QR codes come up on the screen now. See you later.